Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I'm honored to be alongside my great friend, Prime Minister Abe, Japan, to formally announce our first stage of a phenomenal new trade agreement with our close ally. They've been a great friend, and the Prime Minister has been my great friend.
私の大変親しい友人である安倍総理大臣と一緒にこの素晴らしい貿易協定の第一歩について正式に発表することができまして大変光栄に思います。日本はアメリカと密に連携する親しい同盟国です。
I want to thank Ambassador Lighthizer for his extraordinary work in these negotiations. He works 24 hours a day, never sleeps. He's a great gentleman. When I first got this job, everybody was saying, you got to get Lighthizer, you have to get Lighthizer. He's a great and fine man who also gets along with the other side. And in particular with Japan, they've developed a really great mutual respect. I'm grateful as well to several members of my cabinet for joining us this afternoon, and that's Secretary Mnuchin, Secretary Ross, Secretary Pompeo, and my thanks also to Representative Roger Marshall.
この協定の交渉で一生懸命尽くしたライトハイザー代表に謝意の意を表します。彼は24時間ずっと仕事を睡眠せずに一生懸命働く人です。ライトハイザーじゃないとこの仕事ができないと言われましたので、ライトハイザー代表にお願いしました。彼は紳士ですし、日本と特にいい関係を持っています。そしてまたマヌーチン財務長官、ロース商務長官とポンペオ国務長官とその代表も感謝の意を表します。
In a moment, the Prime Minister and I will sign a document outlining the significant steps we're taking toward a fair and reciprocal trade agreement. We insist on fairness and we insist on reciprocal. We want reciprocal agreements from now on because, and I'm not just talking about Japan, I'm talking about virtually every nation in the world. They have not been reciprocal. They've been one-way streets. Under the market access agreement that we're announcing today, Japan will open new markets to approximately $7 billion in American agricultural products. Japanese tariffs will now be significantly lower or eliminated entirely for U.S. beef, pork, wheat, cheese, corn, wine, and so much more. This is a huge victory for America's farmers, ranchers, and growers, and that's very important to me.
そして、この、協定ですけれども、これは素晴らしいものでありまして、これは公正かつ、合計的な貿易協定になります。この貿易協定によって日本はアメリカの70億ドルに相当する農産物の輸出に対して市場を開きます。米国産の牛肉、豚肉、小麦、チーズ、トウモロコシ、ワインなど数多くの製品の関税が下がります。これはアメリカの農家と牧場にとって大きな勝利です。世界中の競争相手との日本の平等な条件と競争することが可能になります。日本だけではなくて他の国も同じような協定を組むべきです。
And it's very important that you report this news as opposed to not reporting it, because it's great for our farmers, as you know, and ranchers, and for a lot of other people. We also reached a deal for robust commitments on $40 billion of digital trade between our two countries. This will greatly expand commerce across cutting-edge products and services.
そしてぜひアメリカのマスコミにこれをちゃんと報道してほしいと思います。これはアメリカの農家と牧場にとって重要なニュースになるからです。農産物だけではなくて400億ドルに相当する電子商取引についての協定にもなります。このコミットメントに合意し、その最先端の製品とサービスの大幅な増加も期待できます。
Japan is one of America's most important economic partners. We are Japan's top foreign investor by far, and Japanese investments in America support hundreds of thousands of American jobs.
そして日本はアメリカにとって最も重要な経済パートナーの一つです。米日両国は世界の GDP の約 30% を占めています。アメリカは海外からの日本への投資する国のトップです。一方、日本からのアメリカへの投資のおかげで数十万人の雇用が支えられています。
The deal we're announcing today will reduce our chronic trade deficit built up and taken effect over many, many years of dealing with other governments and other administrations, and it'll deepen our enduring national ties. It's a very important deal. Our teams will continue negotiations on remaining areas of interest to achieve a final comprehensive agreement. We're negotiating very, very big transactions with Japan. Some of them, I think probably all of them in the not-too-distant future will happen. This is a big chunk, but in the fairly near future, we're going to be having a lot more very comprehensive deals signed with Japan.
この1年前に、この首脳会談では、私と安倍総理は、この慢的な貿易不均衡を是正するために交渉をスタートすることに合意しました。そして、わずか1年後の今日、この場で、この素晴らしい協定の初期段階のものについて発表することができるのは大変嬉しく思います。日本とこれからこの作業を継続し、近い将来にさらなる協定にしたいと考えています。他の国も同じような包括的な協定と締結すべきです。
So this is tremendous for our technology industries, but in particular, these are really big dollars for our farmers and for our ranchers.
これは技術のIT 関係に関わる技術の業界における大きなニュースになりますが、農業、そして農家、牧場の関係者から見ると、これは非常に喜ばしい、歓迎すべき協定です。
I want to congratulate Prime Minister Abe. Not so long ago, he had a tremendous election victory. He won by a lot, and a lot of people say that it was only his friendship with President Trump that got him that tremendous victory.
そして再び安倍総理に祝福の意を表したいと思います。さほど遠くない過去には大きな総裁選に見事な勝利をできました。これはトランプ大統領との友情のおかげではないかと言われる人もいます。
So Shinzo, I want to thank you again for your steadfast partnership. I look forward to continuing to work closely with you as we pursue lasting prosperity and peace for our people. And congratulations to the people of Japan, and congratulations on your great victory. Thank you.
そして安倍総理、この交渉のプロセスで卓越したリーダーシップとパートナーの精神を示していただき感謝しております。米日両国のために高級な繁栄と平和に向けてこれからも総理とともに連携することを楽しみにしています。そして日本国民に対してこの素晴らしい協定ができておめでとうということを申し上げたいと思います。総理からのコメントがありましたらどうぞお聞かせください。
ありがとうございました、ドナルド。昨年の9月に大統領と日米共同声明を発出して以来、1年間、精力的な交渉を続け、今回の最終合意に至ったことを本当に嬉しく思います。
Thank you, Donald. For the past 12 months, since we signed the Japan-US joint statement back in September 2018, we have had strenuous negotiations between Japan and the United States. And I am very delighted that today, together with you, we are announcing final agreement on our trade agreement.
これはまさにこの協定は両国の消費者、あるいは生産者、そして勤労者、すべての国民に利益をもたらす、両国にとってウィンウィンの合意となりました。
One of the highlights of this new agreement is that under this agreement, we together will be able to bring benefit to everyone in Japan as well as in the United States, namely consumers, producers, as well as workers. So the outcome of this negotiation is actually a win-win solution for Japan and the United States.
今回の合意は工業製品あるいは農産物から電商取引に至るまで多岐にわたっておりますが、間違いなく両国の経済を発展させていく、そのことを確信をしております。
So under the new agreements, I do believe that we have successfully covered a wide range of areas, including not only the industrial goods, but also the agricultural products and also the digital trade between the two sides. And I am convinced that now, with these two agreements in place, we will be able to develop both economies of Japan and the United States as we move forward.
先ほど大統領からライトハイザー通商代表およびそのチームの皆さんの努力に対して称賛の言葉がありました。
So in your first statement, you applauded the great work done by Ambassador Lighthizer and also the wonderful American team.
確かに極めてタフなチームでありました。
And from my own perspective, I do share your great applaud for the American team because they have been very, very tough throughout the negotiation process.
対抗するために私も茂木大臣およびタフなチームを編成したところであります。
And to live up to your expectation and also to meet the rivalry between Japan and the United States, I specifically assigned this important work to now the Foreign Minister Motegi and his team, and I am sure that he did a great job too.
まさに相当の努力を積み重ねたわけでありますし、汗を流してその結晶として今回の合意に至ったわけでございますが、まさに両者ともですね、両国の国益のことだけを考え、その国益のことを考えた末に最終的な決断をどなたにもしていただいたと思っています。
And I do believe that the outcome of this negotiation is, namely, the crystallization of the strenuous and persistent efforts made by Minister Motegi and his team. And also, I like to underscore that both Minister Motegi and Ambassador Lighthizer did take care and also took into account the national interest of Japan and the United States, respectively. And now here we are today to share this final agreement, and I'm so glad that Donald also shared my aspiration, and you joined us and joined me in making this final decision to announce the final agreement on the two agreements between Japan and the United States.
ドナルドが政権について以来、日本はアメリカに対するナンバーワンの投資国でありまして、すでに257億ドルの投資が発表され、創出される雇用は5万人を超えています。
Since your inauguration, Japan is the number one investor in the United States. A total of 25.7 billion US dollar investment was already announced by Japan, which have already created more than 50,000 jobs for American people.
今回の協定が発効すれば、間違いなくさらに日本の投資も増え、両国の経済関係は発展する、まさに両国にとってウィンウィンのものとなることを確信しております。ありがとうございました。
And I am convinced that when we are to have the entry into force of the Japan-US trade agreement as well as Japan-US digital trade agreement, will further galvanize the investments between the two sides and also will be able to deepen our economic relations. So once again, this will be a win-win outcome for Japan and the United States. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold them up.